Expectations are put on all of us. It's not a specific moment or experience that cements them, because for as long as you could remember, you've had to live up to it. For me, that was staying up late and studying for hours to receive straight A's. I had to choose honors classes, take math lessons on the weekends, and go to STEM camps over the summer. But that's a common story. Asian, strict parents, unrealistic expectations. We've almost heard too much of it. But academic success through hard work was truly who I was shaped to be. They were never seen as accomplishments or impressive talents because I was supposed to excel naturally. Apparently, it should have been easy for someone like me. I hadn't realized the subconscious pressure put on me until I was sitting in my 7th grade counselor's office, explaining this overwhelming stress I couldn't understand. All she said was, "Your grades are fine, and you look physically okay. There's not much I can do." This experience caused those feelings to intensify, as for years to come, I thought that it was my fault. As an Asian kid, I wasn't performing the way I was supposed to if I was falling short of perfection. When my grades dropped, I convinced myself I had some deficiency as I wasn't meeting those unspoken expectations American society has pushed for so long. Now I finally have a name for the weight that I felt: the model minority myth. If you're unfamiliar with this term, think overbearing tiger mothers and mad geniuses. Those are all common Asian stereotypes that give a good idea of this harmful myth. By definition, the model minority myth is the racist belief that Asian Americans and Asian immigrants have achieved high levels of success by simply working harder than other minorities. We have, in some way, beat the American class system by staying quiet, focusing on ourselves, and keeping our heads down. We are unaffected by racism. We are better at adjusting to American culture, hold stronger values, are academically gifted, and as a result, have been held up as examples. But why is this even a bad stereotype? To start, the biggest issue with this myth is that it's often used against Black and Latino communities. Asian Americans are boosted only to bring down and divide minority groups. We are unfairly pitted against other minorities because we reinforce the idea of the American dream and equal opportunity. If one minority can succeed, racial issues do not exist, and socioeconomic situations are due to personal choice. It gives the idea that anyone can over systemic barriers just by working harder. The simplicity of the myth makes it easy to put the blame on certain groups and implies that success is a choice, when more than often it's not. The model minority myth has also ignored the issues that Asian communities face and further harms those who live in poverty. Stereotypes that all Asian Americans have high-paying jobs are harmful, as those who are stuck in the lower class are seen as a select few bad Asians and are often ignored. However, this is a real issue that needs to be addressed. Only an hour away from here, in San Francisco's Chinatown, over 300 families with children live in 100-square-foot rooms, where they have to share a bathroom and kitchen with other residents in the building. This is the only place where low-income and monolingual Chinese immigrants can find housing. A similar issue is found in New York City's Chinatown, with 1/4 of Chinese immigrants living in poverty. These predominantly Chinese neighborhoods receive less government resources and support due to the stereotype that all Chinese Americans are self-sufficient. It's believed that they don't need help because they have some inherent abilities to succeed. This is heartbreaking, as many of these immigrants come to America thinking of it as some paradise, only to realize that their problems are written off and they are abandoned. This myth also discredits and overgeneralizes the diverse Asian groups living in America. Despite the over 43 different ethnic Asian groups living in the States, model minority has become an umbrella term that ignores the backgrounds of individuals. Even in the workplace, Asian Americans are put off. In high-wage jobs or income over $100,000 a year, for every dollar a white colleague makes, Asian Americans make 93 cents. This wage gap only worsens as Asian women make between 40 to 70 cents for every dollar a white man makes. While Asian Americans are more likely to get hired for tech jobs, they are less likely to get promoted. According to the New York Times, only 3% of Asian Americans hold positions of power. In a phenomenon called the bamboo ceiling, a name that seems a little racist itself, it describes the cultural, individual, and organizational barriers that prevent Asian Americans from getting leadership positions. They are seen as too timid or not assertive enough to hold down these jobs. As a result, many Asian Americans are stuck in low-ranking positions with few opportunities for advancement. While the myth perpetuates the idea that Asians have assimilated into American culture by being docile and non-threatening, it could not be further from the truth. Asian Americans are still seen as outsiders or even aliens, and not white enough to be American. The true hard work of Asian Americans is undermined, and the myth only creates more racist stereotypes about intelligence. Phrases like, "You're only good at math because you're Asian," brushes off the hard work by Asian American students, as doing well in school is only seen as some natural intelligence. This drains motivation to do well, and in a messed up way, causes many Asian Americans to internalize this racism and ignore their own experiences. Those who feel like they do not live up to the standard also struggle internally or suffer imposter syndrome. It invalidates discrimination towards Asian Americans, which causes a lower likelihood to seek mental health treatment. In 2021, among adults with any mental illness, only 25% of Asian adults reported receiving help compared to 52% of white adults. When help is sought, Asian Americans also present greater severity of mental illness compared to white Americans. When a stereotype is so deeply embedded into society, it begins to feel normal. Society shouldn't be characterized by stereotypes, but rather it should recognize and celebrate the diversity of individuals and communities. This is crucial in eliminating biases about race and creating a more inclusive society that actually provides equal opportunities for all. I believe that the best first step in deconstructing the model minority myth is overcoming the psychological burden within ourselves. This starts by shifting our perspectives on success. Success is much more than Ivy Leagues and high GPAs, despite what we are told. Real success begins from drifting away from traditional paths laid out to us. Now, I'm not saying don't be a doctor if that's your dream job or start failing all your classes. Instead, I'm encouraging everyone to find passions that can bring you joy and can give you a sense of pride. We shouldn't live based on obligations. Success should be subjective to each person, and we must accept the diverse paths everyone takes. Without the model minority myth, Asian Americans are allowed to feel proud of their accomplishments, free from any guilt attached to asking for help or facing stigma for not meeting false, predetermined expectations. I've spent my whole life detaching myself from my culture to get rid of these stereotypes. I wanted to be able to take credit for my hard work without any unconscious and unfair demands. I finally recognized that embracing my Asian identity means recognizing my own individuality. And through this new understanding, I hope to heal the part of me that felt the need to go to my counselor 5 years ago. Thank you.